What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the bees to my Jason Statham. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Buzz buzz. How much man, what's up with you?
Oh, saw the beekeeper today.
Nice. I was just thinking like you're like, nah, just a big fan of bees and Statham.
It's like, then do I have something to tell you? Yeah, so I saw the beekeeper today. Um, it was it was fucking rad. It really was. So my favorite Statham movie, uh, I don't know if I want to say until today, it's close, was The
Really.
Mechanic, which I thought was a really, really good one. This might have it beat. Like it's a really good action movie.
I'm gonna say this about Statham movies though. There's like different levels. There's like the dumb action ones, which are awesome, and then there's also like the ones where he's like actually acting, which are awesome too, you know? So
Hmm.
it's like I mean, I love the transporter films. I do. They're dumb and they're fun. But then at the same time, they're not the same type of awesome as like, fucking Lock, Stock, and Two
Rank.
Smoking Barrels. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Totally agree with that. And really, there's only been one or two of his that I haven't really cared for.
I think I know which one. That other Guy Ritchie one. The
Yeah,
one where he's got hair. It's like,
Revolver.
okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that was the name, but I wasn't sure. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
as soon as he has hair, he loses his power.
he does. But I haven't seen. He did like a comedy movie with Melissa McCarthy.
I bet that's good
I mean, it
because
probably is. I just didn't see it.
yeah, because he's playing the straight man. It's not
Yeah.
like he's it'd be hilarious if like Melissa McCarthy's the badass and he's just like, no, I'm the fucking kooky one.
I almost want to watch that more.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty good.
And then I never saw The Meg because I am afraid of the ocean. So,
I want to see both. I hear they're dumb as all hell in like
yeah.
the best way, but it's also like very much like they know their audience is mostly Chinese, and so it's like there's a lot of like, hey, look at this Chinese stuff because you're the one that's making our budget back.
Right.
Just like how Transformers 2 did the same thing, you know? Or no, it's like I think Transformers 3 where it was just like, hey, we got to do a lot of shit in China to be making this budget back.
Yeah. I've friend and listener of the pod has said many times during one particular visit to the shop how much he loved the Meg, and that even though I'm afraid of the ocean, I should still watch it because the fun outweighs any fear of the ocean. So um, maybe one of these days. But
If
man,
anything,
it'd have to be at like 10 in the morning. You know what I mean?
yeah, it might just cure your fear. You're like, dude, if Statham can fucking kill a giant shark while he's on a jet ski, I think I saw that in the trailer. I can just be okay with seeing the ocean.
Oh man. Yeah, the a funny story about the movie theater though. I wasn't worried about kids in the theater today, because it is MLK Day, and there were a lot of people and kids at the theater, but I'm like, surely none of these kids are gonna go see Rated R The Beekeeper. And they didn't. But I got in there and they were like, hey, because it's so cold, free hot chocolate, which is pretty nice, right?
That is nice.
I didn't want any myself, but my friend that I went with did. And he was like, well, do you mind ordering one for you and I'll just drink it? And I'm like, no, that's totally fine.
You're like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not a liar.
So we get our hot chocolate and we go and we sit down and he takes a sip and he's like, I know you don't want it, but will you just try your hot chocolate? And I was intrigued, so I did. And it was the worst hot chocolate I've ever had in my life. And I didn't even know you could have a bad one, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
hot chocolate is just hot chocolate. No, this
I've had
was
some bad ones, I'll be honest.
this was like if LaCroix made hot chocolate. It was hint of chocolate flavored water.
Yeah.
It was so bad, dude.
Yeah. Dude,
So I didn't have any more of mine and he didn't finish his. It was just so bad.
yeah. Dude, I bought this so Jade City, they make like Godzilla hot and like just now it's like everything. Hot sauces and salsa, and then they had hot chocolate. And I bought myself some of the hot chocolate 2 years ago, and I still have the hot chocolate because it is not good. Like the hot sauces are very good. The hot chocolate, it's just like, and maybe it's just because I'm dumb. Like I'll measure it out the way they say to, and then I'll pour it in, and I'm like, I tried it with milk, not good. Try it with water, not good. And it's like, boy,
Even worse, actually, with water.
yeah, yeah. It's like, boy, I could just fucking put a Godzilla sticker on a Swiss Miss box, and it would be far better,
Yeah.
and it'd be a lot less money.
Yeah. I like hot chocolate. It's one of
Me
those things where
too.
like I gotta be in the mood for it. And like I go to the theater, I don't even know if I would say a moderate amount, but like when I go, that's like my okay, I'm gonna get a popcorn and I'm gonna get a frozen Mountain Dew because that's like the only time that I'll drink a soda.
Hmm.
Um, so I was just in that headspace, not even though it's -10 out today, I don't want a hot chocolate.
Yeah,
I want a frozen drink.
you
But
should have
anyway,
just got the Mountain Dew. Like got there early, ordered the Mountain Dew, set it outside,
yeah.
and then been like, okay, now it's time for my frozen Mountain Dew.
They they have one of those I don't know, just like the frozen drink machines. And so one is Mountain Dew, one is red, and one is blue. Don't know what the flavors are. Blue
Blue
raspberry and
raspberry and
cherry, maybe.
cherry. Yep.
Okay. Well, I don't really care for either one of those.
Yeah.
Um, but one time I ordered a frozen drink and I went over to the machine and only the Mountain Dew was out of order.
Of
Like,
course.
son of a bitch. So I had to drink a blue and that's when I learned I didn't really care for it too much.
Dude, I fucking love blue, and I also love the cherry. And one of my favorite things, and like this was like when I was probably middle school, like just think extra chunky Casey going up to Mrs. Fields cookie going, hey, can I get a ice cream? And then they're like, yeah, what flavor? I'm like, I can't decide between the blue and the red. And they're like, kid, little future diabetic. We can mix them. I'm like, what that taste like? And they're like, tastes like cotton candy. And they poked my belly like, "Guy, we know you like cotton candy." I'm like, oh no. And dude, so fucking
Change your
good.
life.
And, I saw through time and space.
Yeah.
So if you like, red and blue ices, mix them. Just tossing it out there to the listeners. Hope someone catches.
So before we continue on, this last week all of Echo dropped and I watched so it turns out it was only 5 episodes, which was unfortunate. And I watched 4 of the 5, and it's pretty good. I
Yeah.
like it.
It does really sound like Disney fucking gave up on that show, though.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
As soon as they were like, we're dropping all 5, I'm like, wait, 5? Wait, all of it? Okay, you
Yeah.
guys don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
Um, it's a little cheesy in parts, but I thought it was cool. And
Yeah.
also, I do you care if I spoil something?
I probably never will get to watch it since I don't have Disney. And I'm kind of like, I'm kind
It's
of
on
tapped
Hulu
out.
too.
Oh, it is on Hulu?
Yeah.
Well, still go ahead.
Okay.
If it's good, if like I always look at spoilers, like unless it's something that I'm just like really invested in. If it's good, it's good. Doesn't fucking matter if you're spoiling it or not.
Right. Okay, well, Anybody listening, if you do not want this Echo spoiler, skip ahead like 30 seconds.
Yeah, hit that
Starting,
skip 15 button twice.
yes, starting right now. Daredevil's in the first episode, and I didn't know it.
Oh, I know.
So
Yeah, I know he's supposed to be in it.
I didn't at all, which is
Yeah.
great because
Hmm.
you see the baton fly out, and I was like, like I jumped on the couch and Brielle kind of jumped too, and I was like, sorry, I just didn't know Daredevil was going to be in this. I was so happy, and yeah, it was only
That's
for like
hilarious.
2 minutes, but it was an awesome 2 minutes. He
Yeah.
just
That's
kicks a
usually what
bunch of
I
ass, and
I'll
then he goes
pre.
away. But yeah, good stuff. I like the show.
Good.
All right. So before we get into trivia, we got Monday Night Football. Tonight we've got the AFC wild card game, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Man, if the GOAT Brady was still here, he was still with us, but sadly he's no longer with us. If he was still with us, I would say the Buccaneers in a heartbeat. And I'm still gonna say the Buccaneers just because they're pirates, and that's all I know about them.
Okay.
So yeah, Buccaneers. Lock it in.
Well, I so far they're up 3-0.
Yeah, they're gonna be up. I'm just gonna say this right now. Jake, set your parlay at Buccaneers 26. And what was the other team again?
The Eagles.
Actually, okay, actually, I'm taking it back. Eagles are going to win because the Eagles are the better team. And I know this because I know very little about football. But so I'm going to say Eagles are going to win 23 to Buccaneers 16. Lock
Okay.
it in.
Lock it in. I think the Eagles will win too. I mean, the record's better, not by much, but still, they've just been kind of killing it all year. So we'll see.
They've had a bit of a
Um,
hype train on them.
they do, they do. Um, but that would make it funnier if the Buccaneers won.
Hmm.
Um, and then one of the games yesterday got postponed until today, and that was the Bills Steelers game. And that wrapped up just a little bit ago. The Bills beat the Steelers 31-17. Um, which made me happy because since neither the Lions or the Bills have won a Super Bowl, I'm hoping one of them does.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I was really just hoping for the Hank Hill Super Bowl of the Texans versus the Cowboys.
Yeah,
But I don't think that's gonna happen. That can't happen thanks to the fucking Packers.
it wouldn't have happened anyway, right? Aren't they both AFC teams?
No, so I only know this because of King of the Hill. There was an episode when the Cowboys were really bad, and Hank, because I'm assuming the Cowboys are AFC. I'm assuming,
Um, no,
but
Cowboys are NFC. I
okay,
was mistaken.
so Texans are AFC then, and
Yeah.
so because he was like talking about getting, he's like, oh, we could root for the Texans because they're good, and then they don't, and since they are the AFC, and like they won't ever play each other unless it's the Super Bowl, an all Texas Super Bowl. If the Lord's will can be done, or so he said something like that. I'm like, that's so funny.
It is funny. Yeah. I I like I was telling you before the pod, all of these games except for the Rams Lions games have just been fucking blowouts. So uh I just wasn't expecting it with some of these teams.
Hmm.
It's like, man, you guys have like almost the same exact record and you're just letting them walk all over you.
Lights shine bright, you fucking fade sometimes, bud.
It's true. It's true. All right, let's move on to some trivia. All right, I got three cards, two questions each. Casey will give a brief pause before answering so that you guys can lock in those answers in your own little noggins. So, Casey, question one. Star-Lord is banished to the negative zone by the judgment of what character?
Um, my guess, I don't fucking remember. I don't know if I read this one, but my guess is gonna be Ronan,
It is. And what is his title?
the accuser.
Yes, Ronan the Accuser.
Unlike his brother, Ronan, the abuser.
Such a jerk.
Yeah, he just beats his wife.
He's the stone cold Steve Austin of the Marvel Cosmic Universe.
Yep. The Stone Cold Steve Austin of the Kree Empire. Like everyone's like, oh, I'm so charismatic though.
All right, question two, multiple choice if you need it. What was the name of the decaying clone of Miles Warren, the Jackal, that tried to kill Spider-Man?
The so wait, it's the decaying clone of the Jackal.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna need some choices.
I think you'll get it right away when I give you the choices. We've got A, Carrion, B, Demogoblin, C, Shriek.
Arian?
Yep.
All right. See, I didn't fucking know that at all.
Okay. Well, they kind of gave it away by saying the decaying clone and Carrion both
Yeah,
have
I
something to
gotcha.
do with death. But anyway, Carrion is like, as far as I know, he was created in the 90s because he's on a lot of 90s
Hmm.
Spider-Man covers. He looked cool for sure.
Yeah. I mean, this say what you will about the Clone Wars or Clone Saga or whatever. Not the Clone Wars. That was something a little bit different. But the Clone Saga, it's like the characters that were brought into it all look cool, even though it's
Hmm.
kind of a convoluted fucking mess. They look awesome.
Yeah. I I adore the Scarlet Spider costume. It's
Like
dope as hell.
the Scarlet Spider costume, Kane's costume. I don't remember. I really don't remember Carrion's costume at all, so I can't speak to that. But
How about I pull it up because we can
all
do
right,
that.
hell yeah, man.
Share screen.
Oh, okay, I remember this dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, he kind of looks like a low rent Green Goblin or Hobgoblin, you know?
he does for sure. But people like those guys.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. It's like speaking of characters around that time, and then you mentioned in the thing, Demogoblin, super fucking cool looking.
Yeah, I know. Any damn goblin they come up with, it's like, man, looks
Yeah,
great.
my favorite.
Demogoblin is way cooler than Green Goblin.
Yeah, and even Hobgoblin too. I know that's like a little sacrilege for you, but
I do love Hobgoblin. I mean, but just because I love that character doesn't mean that he has a better costume, you
yeah,
know?
dude. I will say though, I had this uh Marvel card back when back in the day, and there was a Hobgoblin, and it's like they don't ever do this with Green Goblin, but Hobgoblin they did it all the time, where they didn't show his face, so he just had the red eyes glowing, and he's like flying on the glider, and oh sorry, and the hood's over looks so rad.
I bet, man. I every now and then people will bring in like a whole set of those cards and they're like, "Oh, is it I got the complete set. Is it worth anything?" I'm like, it might be. I don't want them though."
Yeah, it's
But
like
man, they've got some really cool art.
yeah. No, I mean, they should just try to sell them on eBay. I mean,
Mhm.
it's kind of like this basketball card I bought recently though, where it's like, yeah, if you have those and you want to sell them, you might be able to get the high end. I bought a Benedict Mathurin rookie card the other day, And I was looking through and it was all prices were all over the place. It was like $20 and then I bought it for 98 cents. So it's kind of like, oh, who knows?
Yeah. Like I got gifted like a bunch of 90s Bucks cards, and then one of my favorite customers gave me a Ray Allen rookie card because he played for the Bucks. And I mean, I don't think that's really worth that much,
It's
but
just
it's
cool
still
though.
cool. And
Yeah.
that's my favorite era of Bucks uniforms. So
Yeah.
anyway, all
Yeah.
right.
I was like looking through my basketball cards and I was like, I don't know, like they're not worth much, but they are just freaking cool.
Hmm. Absolutely. So yeah, trivia.
Yeah, let's get
Uh
back to it.
Question three, true or false? The prison that Iron Man and Mr. Fantastic built in the negative zone for superhumans was called Project 92.
Think that's true. Or is it
It's
wrong number?
false. Wrong number,
Okay.
which is a silly true false.
Yeah.
It was called Project 42.
Like it's Project 93. See, that's the thing. If that was a DC question, I'd be like, it's Project 52.
Right?
Well, like I already know this has to be what it is.
Putting all my money on it.
Yeah.
Multiple choice if you need it. What former Herald of Galactus was a one-time member of the Nova Corps?
Hmm. I mean, I know there was a Herald of Galactus named Nova.
Want the multiple choice?
Yeah, let's get the multiple choice up in here.
A. Silver Surfer. B. Terrax. C. Fire Lord.
I guess Fire Lord.
It is Fire Lord.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Me either, but I bet he looked cool in a Nova Corps uniform if they gave him one.
Hmm.
I like the Fire Lord design a lot. I've got Fire Lord's first appearance because he was in a
Nice.
bunch of Thor books.
Oh, okay.
But he's just on the cover of a Thor book, and he's like really close to the cover, and you see the back of him, and he's standing there, and then Thor's like little, like in between his
Oh,
legs in the
nice.
background. I'm like, man, this is a cool showdown cover.
So that's probably, I mean, would that be Simonson or Era or who
No,
would have been
before
the
that,
creator? Okay, because
it was
it
in the
wouldn't have been
70s. I
it
want to
wouldn't have been
say
Kirby, would it?
no. I think I want to say it was Sal Buscema who did it.
Okay. Because you can always
Um,
kind of tell the characters that Kirby created, you know, like they have a specific style. I'm like, Kirby drawing him would be cool, but I don't, that doesn't look like a Kirby creation.
oh, I had the wrong Buscema brother. Sorry, it was
Oh,
John Buscema, and then the writer was Jerry Conway.
okay.
Um, but since I was talking about it, I'm going to share my screen. I was a little wrong with Thor's positioning, but you're going to forgive me because you're really going to like who shares the cover with him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's dope as hell, man.
right. I love it. Love that book. So, and for those not looking, it's Hercules and Thor versus Fire Lord, which really I know Firelord's got the power cosmic, and he was tougher back then than he is
Hmm.
nowadays. But nowadays, it's like, man, that wouldn't even be a fight, really.
I mean, nowadays, depending on how they're writing Herc, it's like either like it is a big time stomp or Hercules is just going to get in the way. It really depends on that.
Yeah, fair enough.
If
All
it's
right.
like gun toting Herc, it would be a oof, ugh.
Like Prince of Power era.
Yeah.
All right. True or false? Dr. Kurt Connors constantly battles Spider Man as his nemesis, Dr. Octopus.
False.
Who is he?
He is the lizard.
He is the lizard.
I do love how they went with another doctor. It's like, yeah, Dr. Kurt Connors, he's actually Dr. Octopus. It's like, No, that doesn't work. Could have gone with a, been like he's Rhino. That would have been a much better choice.
Yeah. Who do you like better, Doc Ock or the Lizard?
The lizard probably. I'm not a big Doc Ock guy because it's like it's really hard for me to be like, oh yeah, this dweeb can withstand punches from Spider-Man. And then Dan Slott was like, I'm gonna have Doc Ock be so good he beats the Avengers on his own because he's prepped. It's like, oh Lord, it's so fucking bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, I know. He just looks so doughy.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way he's taking punches from Spider-Man who could just knock him into the sun if he wanted to.
Yeah. And then later on, and then when they had him in that adamantium cocoon because he was dying, and that was a whole other stupid thing. Yeah, I'm just not a
Yep,
fan.
I get it. All right, and final question. Multiple choice if you need it. What girlfriend of Peter Parker developed spider powers during the Spider Island saga?
I think I know this one. One, two, three. I think isn't it MJ?
Nope.
No? Okay. Oh no, it's oh, what's her tits? Is it Carly
hmm
something? Yeah.
Carly Cooper.
Yeah, that's it.
MJ wasn't even on the list. I don't even know who this is. Lily Hollister?
That sounds familiar.
And then Betty Brant, but I
Yeah.
knew that wasn't it. Lily Hollister.
She's
Um,
probably a character that was made way too hot for a nerd like Peter.
oh, absolutely. Better known as Menace, is a member of the Goblin Underground and the ex-fiance of Harry Osborn.
Oh, I remember her now. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
she was in that era of like I wasn't reading Spider-Man, and then like Dan Slott's killed my love for the character.
Yeah.
It's like she was like in like I was reading in between those, those two times, and she was
Yeah.
around before and after.
Yeah, I've never read Spider Island.
Oh, see, I was still reading Spider Island. I don't remember her in Spider Island. I remember her, she popped up after Dan, I'm pretty sure like was doing the Goblin fucking Wars rap, like in the Superior Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man proper came back, I think. That then she came back during that, but I was like, no, I'm done.
Fair enough. All right, let's get on to the news.
Yeah, buddy.
We have spiraled so far since we're just now hitting the
This
news.
is a spiral cast, I tell you.
Yeah, it is. All right. Would you care to start?
Yeah, let's start. So Steven Yeun has dropped out of the Thunderbolts due to production being pushed back. Scooper Daniel RPK is saying Austin Abrams, and like I think in other people report on this too, but Austin Abrams is set to be the new actor playing Sentry. I guess he's on Euphoria. My problem with Steven Yeun being Sentry is the same I have with this kid. Where is the damn beef? But then I saw,
You just need a shirt to wear around C2E2 that's like, where is the beef?
yeah, I point at cosplayers and be like, "Where's the beef?" And then I'll be like, then I'll take off the shirt when I get like a beefy Thor. I'm like, huh, "There's the beef." But I also saw some rumors too, but there wasn't much. I don't think there was fucking much to it. But that Henry Cavill could be in talks to play Sentry, and then also,
Oh, it's that time of year. We're back
yeah,
to that again.
yep, and then Ryan Gosling could be playing Sentry too. I'm yeah, like I feel like the Austin Abrams thing is more than likely what's gonna happen since like a proper scooper. It's not just like somebody on the internet saying this. Like this guy's known to be good at actually getting shit right. So I'm buying that one over the other two. The other two seem too good to be true.
Yeah. And I love Ryan Gosling, but I don't want him as Sentry.
No, I think that's like that would be I'm trying to think. That would be like casting Henry Cavill as like the majority of things they cast him in. Because it's just like, oh yeah, you're not using him to his full potential at all.
Yep. Agreed.
And while I'm on the subject of Daniel RPK, Scoop and stuff, he states Marvel is looking to recast Kang the Conqueror, and Colum Domingo is being considered as the replacement.
I don't know who that is.
Neither do I. But so apparently that's what they're trying to do. I mean, they're still not going to make Kang be the focus going forward, but it's still, more than what it was. Like they're gonna at least like in that instead of just being like, nope, we'll figure something else out type of thing.
Right. Um, all right. Now some of these things are a couple weeks old, but we held off because of
Hmm.
our crossover cast. So everyone's heard at this point, but Jack Black is joining Jason Momoa for the Minecraft film. He's going to be playing Steve. Steve is the default Minecraft character whenever you play the game. Um, this I am excited for this. I like Jack Black. I like Minecraft. I don't play it as much as I did when it came out or whatever. And I realize that this is mostly going to be made for kids, I think. Or, maybe it'll be like the Mario movie where it's all ages. Um, but I plan on checking it out. I think that'll be fun.
Speaking of Minecraft, I just saw a funny tweet. I think you'll get a chuckle out of it. It's like back in the early 1900s, the kids were forced to work in mines, and now they play mine. The most popular game is Minecraft. The kids yearn for the
Yearn for the
mines.
mines. Dude, it's so funny. So funny.
So Anya Shaltora, who was in The Witcher, she is going to play Cersei in James Gunn's animated Creature Commandos, and I think that also means she'll play Cersei if she is ever live action too. So
That'll be cool.
yeah, you are you a fan of that casting? I'm assuming you must be because
Yeah, I am.
you liked her, I thought.
Yeah, she's great in The Witcher. She plays Yennefer, who is a sorceress, so like she already knows how to play that role. And you know what? If she gets typecast into the sorceress role, so be it. She does a great job.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So Ed Brubaker's comic Criminal is getting adapted to Amazon. Casey just gave the thumbs up. He's excited for it. I am too. That's not one that I've read, but uh, you can't go wrong with Brubaker. Anything that you read from him is going to be solid at the worst. So I'm glad that he's getting his bag with the show. I hope it
Yeah.
does well.
I am super happy for him that he's making money and I hope it's good. But even if it's not, he hopefully he's getting paid more than he did for the crap he did for Marvel.
Yeah, or just writing Criminal even.
Yeah.
And that
Oh,
see that's one that it's like my parents that almost exclusively watch crime shows. I'm going to be like, hey, check out Criminal on Amazon,
yeah.
and hopefully it's something that people that don't read the book will be into as well.
I bet they will. I think it like unless they just make it really bad. Because like I've not read the first like I don't think I've read the main criminal series. I've read like the random crossover stuff, and I want to read the main series, but like because I remember you were like, hey, there's a new book, Ed Brubaker book. I'm like, oh, it's in the criminal universe. I'm like, but it's like, oh yeah, this is completely. It's like it's standalone. Like I guess there's like different parts of it where like, oh yeah, this would make more sense if you read the whole thing, but it's not necessary. And it's like, if it's anything like this, it's gonna be awesome.
Hmm.
So I'm pretty excited. So Reginald Hudlin confirmed DC's milestone animated movie is moving forward. So that's pretty exciting. I'm even though he's confirmed it, I'm just gonna say this. I'm still not holding my breath because it was I think around 2021 when it was originally announced at DC Fandom when that was a thing. So even though he's saying it's still gonna be a thing, we personally, I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna buy it until I hear it from James Gunn's mouth because he's kind of the one that makes all the decisions at the end. So kind of, but let's hope he's right.
I hope so too. I like him. I like Milestone. I think it would work great as an animated movie.
Yep. And it's the way he was making it sound like it's gonna be an ensemble thing too. So it's gonna be all of them.
Yeah, like
which is
Blood
pretty,
Syndicate, all
yeah,
like
which would be
yeah.
pretty sweet if it could be done right, you know?
Hmm. Um, I'll lump these two together. So Ahsoka officially got renewed for season two. Very exciting. I love that show. Um, and then the Mandalorian and Grogu, as it's being called, movie is underway. We knew that that was coming, but it officially got announced. Jon Favreau is going to direct it. They're calling it Mando and Grogu because that's what's going to get more butts in the seats. But I think it's going to be that movie that we talked about that's going to wrap up uh, Mando, Ahsoka, and Boba Fett. So that's my guess.
I don't know. That just seems like there was, I know it's kind of Disney's thing, but boy, they're just milking it and milking it, huh?
Yeah, I my guess is that uh, Mando, whose name is Din Djarin, is going to die at the end of it, probably because they've said before that the Mandalorian show will cover other Mandalorians. So I think
Hmm.
they'll kill him off, and then the show will continue with somebody different,
I
which it
just thought,
needs to, because I like Grogu, but I'm over it. It's like,
I I have the dumbest idea. So he's about to be killed, you know, like him and Grogu, they're, oh yeah, we're you know, backs to the wall, they're gonna get killed. And Grogu looks at him and he like Force makes him sleep and he puts the armor on and then he sends him away and then Grogu gets killed, but then like you just see like the Mandalorian armor, like Grogu's like wearing it though, and they're like, oh, we got the fucking Mando. Yeah. Like they can't put together that it's a little baby.
oh man, I love the show and I love Grogu, but I feel like the first season was just kick ass,
Hmm.
and I like all of it. But the longer Grogu's in it, like the sillier and more like all ages it has to be.
Yeah.
And so I'm ready for a new Mando where they can go back to a little more like action focused.
Yeah. One of my things that, like, as someone that's not seen it, so I don't really know why I'm talking about it, but one of the things that, like, I don't like, I just don't like about, like, all of this new Star Wars stuff is like, Order 66 happened, and they're like, fuck, there's no more Jedi's. And then they're like, well, so fucking turns out there's a lot more Jedi's out there than we knew about.
Well, dude, it never made sense that every Jedi just got wasted by a non-Jedi. So I'm fine with it because that's a gripe for me.
I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still don't understand what the I think they're Inquisitors. I don't understand what the fuck they are because we can only like because they always been like there can only be two Sith at once, one to kill their daddy Sith and the one to die. And then they're like, and then what are these guys? Are they Sith? Nah, they're fucking Inquisitors. Like, oh, okay. Well, how are they different? They aren't.
No,
Like,
they are. They are.
what?
You just don't know what you're talking about.
How are they different? No, like literally, like because they got
So
lightsabers. They're ugly. They are force sensitive,
true. But like
and they're evil.
I don't know all the rules anymore, but there's a difference between like true Sith and just like um like followers of the Sith religion or whatever they want to call it.
That's so dumb to me. Because I mean, because I think George, it's there. It's 100% them riding around the bullshit George Lucas said. Because like
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic, it was just like, oh yeah, this is just fucking done the Sith out there. And
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, this is how it should be. And then George Lucas like, they're going to be fucking do. It's like,
Right.
George, why you talk like that? Well, it's not gonna, I don't know.
I fully expect a message from Preston because he's the big Star Wars
Yeah.
boy that
He's
can
probably
maybe
like
set us
just
straight.
just like fucking breaking his phone just in like anger about how dumb I am right now.
No, nah, Preston, we need you. Educate us. What's the difference? All right,
Uh,
man. Carry on.
So Miley Alcock, Emilia Jones, and Meg Donnelly will all screen test for a role in Supergirl. They all kind of look different. They're all not just the regular old blonde white girls. They're all white girls, just not all blonde. So it's like,
So
are they
not to be
all
that guy, it's Millie Alcock.
okay? All
She's
that cock, but
she's the main actress in well, one of the main actresses in House of the Dragon, and she's
uh
awesome.
okay.
So
You want her to be
yeah,
Supergirl?
I
All
sure
right,
do. I
all right.
sure do.
So, but yeah, so they're all trying out. Don't know if they're all trying out for the same character, how that works, but apparently, old Alcock is pretty awesome, so that's cool. I mean, I'm buying, I'm whatever. Like,
You
I
trust
don't.
me? You
Yeah,
trust me that
I'm
she's cool?
trusting Jake on this. Like, it's one of those things anymore. Like, if I don't know the actor, I'm not gonna just go look at like, oh, this is fucking terrible. Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
They're paid to act, and this isn't fucking Shakespeare, so I have a feeling they're gonna be pretty okay at playing make believe. So I'm not too worried about it.
Oh man, if only everyone on Twitter felt that way.
Well, in all fairness, I used to be a crotchety old bitch about that stuff, and now I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, I still am sometimes. It just depends on what it is.
Yeah. Like when Jack Black gets casted as Supergirl, I'll be like, maybe guys, just give him some time. Maybe he's gonna do really good.
I think that would get more people in the theater, if I'm honest.
You know what I'm gonna say? If he did get casted, or if any of these gals, I'll be like with Jack Black, I'll be like, there's the beef. The girls are like, where is it?
All right. So, on to this week's news for my portion. Lawrence Fishburne will be joining the Witcher cast as Regis the Vampire. Um, I love that casting. I think he's great. I like the character Regis. He is a total badass, but the show sucks and it's going to be wasted. Um,
I mean, maybe him in there is gonna that at least that stuff will be good. Like I have faith that, because it's like if you put a guy like Lawrence Fishburne and in a role, it's just like, oh yeah, this dude's fucking good. Like he is magnetic, as they
mhm,
say. So it's like, yeah, he can make his stuff good.
yeah,
Not gonna say he's gonna make the whole thing good.
right. No, I agree. He will be. He's such a cool character that I can't wait to see how he does it. It's like, man, I just know that writing is going to be shit. And that is such a bummer because if I
Yeah.
liked this show, I would be like, hype would be through the roof on this casting.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. Okay, so I saw this today, and like I kind of hope it's not true, but like I'm pretty sure it is. Marvel is pushing to bring back Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider for Secret Wars. It's like just because there's a nostalgia button doesn't mean you should always press it because it's like those movies fucking sucked. Both of them were so bad. Like,
I
why?
never did see the second one.
I watched parts of it. It's like, oh yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Is the first one is just like a demon, right? It isn't like a named.
It's I think Blackheart.
Oh, it is Blackheart.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's just not a it's just like a fucking emo kid in a black trench coat though.
right. Yeah, it's like yeah, nostalgia's cool, but are people really going to be like, oh my god?
I don't know. Part of like we've talked about this before. It's like if people can look at, some of these other X-Men movies and the prequel trilogy and whatnot and be like, they're so good. There's probably people that are like, yeah, Nicholas and like Nicolas Cage. There's kind of a Nicolas Cage renaissance now where people just love him, even though it's like, guys, he has movies where he's good. I'm not gonna say he's not. There's also movies like Ghost Rider where he's so fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, this it there might be people that get excited about it because they're stupid, but I don't think it's just such a bad idea.
Yep. Um, all right, some exciting news. I saw, I think yesterday or the day before, that Eldon Henson and Deborah Ann Wall are going to return for Daredevil Born Again.
I saw
So,
this too. It's exciting.
the firing of whoever was in charge of this show before, it's starting to look a little bit better now,
Yeah.
man. So
And
after watching uh the first episode of Echo, I'm watching it with my lovely lady, and we watched one episode. She goes to bed, and I'm like, I need more stuff like this, so I'm just gonna start watching Daredevil again. And so I got
nice.
through like one or two episodes before falling asleep. But man, that show is still so good.
Hmm.
It's just perfect.
Okay, so speaking of Daredevil Born Again, I don't like I love this character. I'm just gonna toss this out there. I don't like this though. Muse is rumored to be the big bad in Daredevil Born Again. I think Muse is like such a cool looking character. I think that's probably why like the person that's running the show is just like, oh, this character, this, he probably typed in Daredevil bad guys, and then he's like, Stiltman, no, the fucking frog thing, no, and he's like, Muse, this looks cool. It's like just use Bullseye and Kingpin. And I know it's
Hmm.
been done, but do it again. It will be
Yeah,
awesome.
because we liked Bullseye.
Yeah.
He was cool.
And Muse is gonna be cool, but it's just too early. You don't need to use him.
Yeah. I have not read that arc with Muse in it, but dude,
I'd recommend it.
he had some of the coolest covers.
Yeah. I would highly recommend it. He does some shitbag things.
Nice.
um I'll mention this really quick too. David Ayer is he had tweeted out that he has given up on ever getting the Ayer cut and he's just done doing DC related movies. He's like, I still love DC comics, but I'm just never gonna work for WB. I don't ever really want to work for WB, and definitely not gonna work on a DC movie ever again. Which it's like, I get that.
I honestly didn't know that he was still trying for the Ayer cut.
Yeah, it was like pretty recently that he announced that he finally gave up because like the way it sounded like James Gunn might have strung him along a little bit.
Ah, okay, my last bit of news. I saved the comic news for last.
That's what I'm doing.
It was announced that Jason Aaron will be doing a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series at IDW. The series is ending at 150, and then they're going to relaunch the series for their 40th anniversary. And they got old Jason Aaron to kick it off. So
Dude, IDW, they're like, yeah, let's empty out the banks for this new Turtles book. I'm into it. I was wanting to get back into Turtles, and this is gonna be about perfect for me.
yeah, I think he'll do Turtles well.
Yeah, same.
I kind of like this. Not that he ever went away, but this Jason Aaron renaissance. He
Hmm.
switched to DC, and that stuff's been pretty cool. And now he's going to be doing Turtles. So
Yeah. Okay, so actor Sterling K. Brown stated he wants to play Jon Stewart. Um, I like that casting. I like I've only seen him in a few things, but I mean, it kind of makes me feel old because he was talking about watching the Justice League show when he was younger. I'm like, shit, dude. That means you're like close to my age.
I
I
had to
guess I'm
Google
old.
him.
Yeah, I've seen him in stuff, but it's like, yeah, I think he could do.
He's 47.
Oh, okay. So he was just an old nerd watching Justice League.
Yep, which is fine.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes me happy. Uh, but no, I think he would pull that off pretty well. I'm not like I know you 100% are pretty much just like, yeah, John Stewart, please live action. I'm kind of torn. I kind of want Hal first, and then I would love to have like Hal first, introduce John, introduce Guy, and then we don't really need Kyle right away, but like have that stuff and then maybe introduce Kyle and like change up the parallax stuff and just have Kyle, differently. I think that would be really cool. I don't
Yeah.
really like I know there was rumors and I don't think it's happening anymore, thank God, the Green Lantern TV show because it's like that's not gonna work. We need better like you need really good CG for Green Lantern.
Yeah,
And so
I agree. And it's not even that I don't want Hal. I recognize that Hal is most people's favorites and that he should be in it. Uh I just like John. That's just a
yeah.
me thing.
It's not just a you thing. It's people that weren't reading comics and then the Justice League cartoon came out. It's like that's their introduction to that the Green Lantern character. So it's like, yes, they prefer John, which it's like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
And then my last bit of news, new Sync comic coming to Kickstarter from John Lee's friend of the podcast and Alex Cormack, who's retweeted to the podcast. It's set to launch on Valentine's Day 2024. I have an email here about it, just so that we can kind of describe what it's about. Uh, it's going to be it's Sync issues 12 and 13. Um, First in the I'm trying to okay. We'll be serving up a Sync double feature encompassing two eras of Sink Hill, Glasgow's most notorious neighborhood. First, in the present day, crime boss Cy McCurdy must navigate an array of potentially explosive headaches and mishaps, all under the watchful eye of a ghoulish superior looking for an excuse to permanently retire him. Then, 70 years in the past, young Chrissy Woods goes hunting for the Gorbals vampire and finds herself in a nightmare. Two standalone tales with a surprising connection and one clear message. Whatever the era, past or present in Sinkhill, monsters are real. Sync is awesome. I'm gonna back it. I know, like, since this is like by Comics Tribe, and I like you have to get through the Comics Tribe website, Jake. It's harder for you to get it, or not harder, but it's like it's hard for you to get it since you do most of your stuff through Diamond and Polar and stuff. So it's just pain in the ass for you. But would you be interested in reading Sync at all?
I haven't read any of Sync, so I don't know if it's one of those things where like I'd need to read all of it to know what's going on. Um, but I'm not opposed. I mean, I like
Yeah,
Mountainhead a whole lot, so
yeah. Like I will say, I think the last one that came out, it's because like when me and John were talking about it, it seems like because the first two trades that I had, it was all like self-contained, one-off anthology type stories. And then like now that like this is getting a following, like John's like, I can do stuff that's more connected. So like the last issue, which was kind of the introduction to this vampire thing, and then these ones, it sounds like those ones are all going to be more connected and, proper proper storytelling that way now.
right.
I'm pretty excited.
Good. All right. That's it for the news, folks. So on to what we read this week. Casey, what about you, man?
Okay, so I read Adventure Man Ghost Lights 1 of 2. Wolverine Sabretooth War Part 1 Issue 41. Fish Flies 4. Transformers 4. Blade the Hulk Slayer number 7. Wesley Dodds the Sandman number 4. Green Lantern number 7. Sensational She-Hulk number 4 and Batman and Robin number 5. What about you?
I read Spider-Gwen Smash number 2, The Sacrificers number 6, She-Hulk number 4, Action Comics 1061, Fish Flies number 4, Batman and Robin 5, Blade 7, Green Lantern 7, and Wesley Dodds 4.
Oh, no Transformers this week, huh?
No
All
Transformers.
right. So I think we read the same amount. So you can go first, bud.
All right. I'll talk about Spider-Gwen. It's written by Melissa Flores with art by Enid Balam, and it's pretty cool. It's just somebody still trying to get Dazzler, um, and they're trying to figure out who it is. We find out that the Hulk that keeps smashing up the shows and trying to attack Dazzler is, spoiler alert, the Rick Jones of this particular universe. And yeah, there's some more drama with Gwen and her bandmates, which I have a hard time sympathizing with because they were like, Gwen, this was just supposed to be like a band thing, like no ghost spider. It's like, okay, well, do you want to get squished by stadium debris when it's caving in around you? Like, she's gonna
It's like,
fucking help.
yes, that would make our sales go through the roof.
Right. It's just Mary Jane is so bitchy and she's
Yeah.
not likable in this series. She's just like the stuck up lead singer who gets mad when Gwen wants to save people from dying. And it's like, you know,
It's
get over
it's just
yourself
like
soon.
it's just like I like snaps with Mike and Levi.
It is.
Mike's trying to save
Exactly.
people, and Levi's like, dude, just let them die.
But yeah, the art and everything else is good. I really like this book. It's a solid Spider-Gwen book, so I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Right on, man. So, Adventure Man Ghost Lights by Matt Fraction and Terry and Rachel Dodson on the art. Terry Dodson's doing the covers. I'm not gonna lie. The art's not near as good in this as it was in the ones prior. Like, I just don't like it as much. The story doesn't get me as hooked as the other one does. It's just kind of like a much less good sequel. Like, I'm really not invested. But the end, and it also felt kind of like filler where it's like, yeah, we're building up to the last page. And then the last page is what's going to get you back for the final issue of this. So it's like, will I check it out the next issue? Yeah, of course. And is it just is it just a letdown though? Yeah, it really is. I'm gonna go probably 5 out of 10. Like it's just the last one I was like, yeah, even though I don't remember what's going on because it took so long in between issues to come out, at least the art's still amazing. This one is like it's not near sharp. It just all of it is just like duller than the first issue.
Right.
Or not first issue, but the first arc.
Which is a shame. I feel like they could have taken their time to make it really good.
Yeah.
What are you
Matt
rating it?
Fraction's getting that Hollywood money. Oh, I said 5.
Oh, 5. Okay. Um, all right. I will talk about The Sacrificers next. It's issue number 6, written by Rick Remender with Max Fiumara on the art. And yeah, if you're not reading this, you should be. And I'm not going to try to explain what's happening because it's a Rick Remender image book, and there's just not a good way to do that. The art's killer. The story is so good. It gets better with each issue. Um, I'm really going to try to make Casey read this when the first trade comes out, which I'm hoping is soon because I read in the back of this that this is the end of the first arc and more is coming back out in April. It's like, man, I don't want to wait that long. But when it comes to image books, sometimes you got to wait a really long time for the next issue, and at least it won't be as long as Saga. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this is a killer book. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It's up there for pick of the week. It might just be.
Yeah. All right. So Sabretooth War Part 1 Wolverine 41. You get so since I'm not like an X-Men boy, an X boy. Oh, first off, this is by Victor Lavelle and Benjamin Percy writing and Jeff Shaw, Corey Smith, and yeah, it's just Jeff Shaw and Corey Smith doing the pencils. Like, since I'm not an X-Men boy, so much I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, I guess Victor Creed got tossed into the Krakoa prison and then he broke out and he went into the multiverse and found a bunch of Victor Creeds. And then like a lot of them don't have heads. Like I don't know what the hell is going on. And he's just like keeping them around. And then but he's got like his team. One of them like can transform. One's a lady, one's a Captain America. And they're like and he's like, it's the Runt's birthday. So I always do something on Wolverine's birthday. And Quentin Quire, like this is the thing. I don't know if like Krakoa still has the Dragon Ball so they can bring back dead people or not. Like, I don't know how this works with the new X-Men status quo, but if it doesn't, a lot of characters died in this issue, and it's just like, should I be worried about some of these characters never coming back, or how's that gonna work? But yeah, Sabretooth just kills a lot of people, like all of the Sabretooths, and it is a hoot and a holler. I'm all about the Sabretooth War. I was telling Jake before we got on here. He needs to read it. It's like dumb edgelord 90s fun. It's the best way of putting it. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It is also like right up there with the pick of the week. Not sure if it's my pick, but it's like I said, right up there.
Nice. I really will try to remember to read it. All right. Next up, I'll talk about it. Action Comics. It's number 1061. It's written by Jason Aaron, and the art is by John Timms. Honestly, dude, it was pretty cool. I wish you'd have picked it up.
I was on the the fence about it, but I was like, since it's just an anthology book now, it's hard for me to get overly invested, especially in a book that's probably what, 5.99?
Mm. 4.99.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, art's really good. This is a Bizarro story. Like Bizarro's acting weird, and Superman doesn't know what's up with him. Um, Turns out Bizarro goes to like this planet full of wizards, and they can't really stop him, and he just takes a whole bunch of magical artifacts and brings it back to Earth and is acting all crazy. Superman's trying to help him, but he can't really figure out what's going on. And then Bizarro casts a spell and then just dissolves. And Superman's like, and I don't know, I can still hear him like weeping. He was like weeping when he died, and I can still hear it. And then everyone starts going crazy, Lois included, and they all turn into like Bizarro people, like all of Metropolis. And that's kind of how it ends. So, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen next, but it was kooky and cool. Um, I don't really like reading Bizarro dialogue because I
Yeah.
just can't keep it straight, and I don't know what's actually supposed to be said. And sometimes Superman's there to like what he's saying, you can make out what the conversation is. So that's like a little bit of a minus for me, but overall, I really did like it. I'm liking Jason Aaron over at DC, so um, I'm gonna give it an 8. It was a solid first entry.
Nice, dude. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying with that Bizarro, because that's like the one knock I will give All-Star Superman, even though it's one of my favorite series. The Bizarro stuff, I'm like, fuck, like I have to like actually like properly focus hard to make sure I'm getting all that stuff right. Like that's where it kind of drags for me.
Yeah, it's just a lot of like double, sometimes even triple and quadruple negatives. It's like,
Yeah,
gosh, what does he mean?
yeah. All right, so Transformers issue 4 by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer does the colors. It's fun. I mean, Optimus Prime is trying to save Spike, and he's fighting these old bad robots and stuff. It's just like awesome fight scenes like you get from Daniel Warren Johnson. I don't care that much about the story because I'm just not a Transformers guy, but the stuff that happened, like this, the fight scenes are so awesome and it makes you come back for more. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I like it. It's solid. It's Probably like I like Duke a lot more than Transformers though, because like I'm just way more interested in the character. So, you know, if you're gonna read one of the
Inner John.
Inner John book universe, I'd say Duke. That's just me personally though.
Yeah, I will read it. I didn't get to that one or Assassin's Apprentice. Because man,
What would
I had
you
a lot
do,
out
Lee?
this week. I had a
Yeah.
lot come out this week, but I'll get there. All right, I've just got our Michis.
Me too, man. What order do you want to do them in?
We'll just do the order I got sitting here. Let's go She-Hulk, Fish Flies, Batman and Robin, Blade, Green Lantern, Sandman.
I like how you say Batman because you made it sound like it's, like, old Bruce Batman over here.
The old Batman.
Yeah.
All right, so Sensational She-Hulk #4. It's written by Rainbow Rowell with art by Ig Guara. And I gotta say, this issue brought me back, Casey. The last one or two was like filler, and I was kind of like, I wish I liked this more. And you know what? I like this one more.
hmm I agree. The one thing I will say though is like I'm not really buying these New Yorkers being this upset over like destroying a city block. It's like that happens like every day. Like, come on, guys. Like that's
Yeah,
like the one thing that I was like kind of not believable, didn't find believable, but everything else about this I did like. I liked how Carol Danvers is just such a fucking boob.
yeah,
Like it was just so perfectly written. Like I loved it. Like she's a well-meaning boob, but boy, she's not the person I'd want to go to a club with.
no, not at all. Um, Before I get into Carol, I do like that old couple that was like, "What did the news say? Find a protective doorway or get her under a table." It's like
Yeah.
at least she's poking fun at the New Yorkers being mad at her.
hmm
Um, but yeah, Carol's super funny. She's like, "Why am I not invited to book club? Like, I want to be invited."
Yeah.
Um, and also Patsy is hilarious.
Yeah,
She's
Patsy's
so
awesome.
funny.
Rainbow, like that's the thing. Like if you ever want to book, like she does the action stuff fine. Like it's good. But like anytime like they're like, hey, this is gonna be like a dialogue heavy, fun book. And it's like, yeah, you're gonna be writing these characters that I like, and you're gonna be writing them so well. And that's what Rainbow does. And it's really good stuff.
Yeah. Did did Rainbow write that Patsy Walker book a few years ago?
No, which one? She didn't write either of them, but
Okay. Oh, I was thinking the one called Patsy Walker Hellcat. It was like 12
no,
issues.
no, man, that book, I wanted to like it.
Would you read a Patsy Walker Hellcat by Rainbow Rowell?
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly, Rainbow has become one of those writers where it's like, it's to the point where it's just like, you can just say, like, oh, would you read a Power Pack book by Rainbow Rowell? I'm like, I'd give it at least 3 issues.
Yeah, fair enough. There was one like, uh, there was one like quote from Patsy that I thought was really funny, and I was trying to find it to share it, but now I can't find it. So, um, but yeah, the end though, man, like super cool. Like I cannot wait for the next issue.
So, dude, super good. Enjoy it. The art's solid in it. Like,
Oh,
I'm not
here
like,
it is. Sorry to
no, you're
interrupt
good.
you. Uh, Jennifer's like, "Are you feeling okay?" She's like, "Fine, fine. A little headache, probably from this downer of a conversation." It's like,
Yeah.
damn, Patsy, no chill.
The I will say one thing about this book, it's like, and I don't know, I think Rainbow's were, trying for it is I'm not a big fan of Jack. Like Jack is like he went from being like a cool character in my eyes to like slowly becoming kind of,
A whiny bitch.
I already called like Carol a boob, and I don't think Jack is more just annoying. Like a boob is like at least like charming. Like Carol's super like I liked her a lot. Like Jack, I don't really like anymore.
I know. I'm just, I mean, dude, we've had like 15 issues of him being like, I don't think I'm ready for this. It's like, okay, then like get the fuck out of the book, man.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, I agree, dude.
I'm almost glad that he's like, I don't think I'm ready, and then he leaves because it's like, okay, cool, now I can laugh again.
Yeah. Jake's in a toxic relationship with Jack with Jack in this book. He's just like, I just need him out of here so I can laugh.
Well, you know, I'm feeding off of Patsy's energy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I really like it. I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Yeah, that I'm probably at an 8. I loved it. I thought it was good. I thought, like I said, the art didn't always hit for me, and there was like little minor gripes, but it's just a good book. Rainbow's a good writer.
Hmm.
Okay, then Jeff Lemire's Fish Flies issue 4. This is my favorite issue of this book so far.
Easily.
Yeah, like it was good before, but this one it's like ramping up, more story, not just more story, like just more stuff happens.
More
Ma-
spooky.
Yeah, and it's like it just kind of like, at least for me, it really grabbed me and made me want to keep reading, made me want to know more what's going on. Um, yeah, I really, really liked it. And I mean,
Yeah,
super cool.
yeah. The stuff that like you start to see Bug go through some remorse for shooting the kid. He's starting to see him in places that he's not uh doesn't like seeing his face on the wanted picture. Clearly has some sort of protective feelings for Francis, the kid. So, you know, I like the character
Hmm.
progression that's going on here. I also really like the cop. I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's good stuff. I love this issue a lot. I love this book a lot. Like this is one of my favorite Lemire books for sure. I'm really looking forward to how I don't know how long it's going, but just how the story's gonna possibly
yeah,
wrap up.
yeah. No, same. I'm glad we're kind of on the same page with it being like the best issue yet. Like
Hmm.
I might be at a 9.5. This is the one there. I'm like, it was either this or Wolverine as my pick of the week, and I'm gonna just give this my pick of the week.
Yeah, this is right up there with Sacrifices for me. It's just so good. I'll give it a 9 as well. All right, Batman and Robin number 5.
Hmm.
It's written by Joshua Williamson with art by uh, Nicola Sismezija.
Good
Dude,
job, Casey.
remind me, because I know I looked up his that artist pronunciation before. What book were they working on?
I don't
I
remember.
feel like it maybe it was one of the Witcher books or something. I feel like it
Maybe.
was like a 4 or 5 issue thing because I remember this name. Um, but anyway, I like this book, man. It's cool. It's cool. It's more all ages, but it's kind of refreshing, I think.
Yeah.
Um, Also, LOL at Bruce serving pancakes, just being a
Yeah.
dad, you know. But what did you think of it?
I liked it. There's parts where I think the art's awesome, though, and then there's other parts where I'm like right here. I mean,
Yeah,
like there's different spots like that. Like when you've actually got the proper detailing done on stuff, it looks great. But then there's times where it's just kind of like, oh yeah, this background character or whatever, And then like the big reveal at the end I thought was kind of silly because it's just like, if there is one character who I don't think could stop a soccer ball, it's this kid's dad. And yeah, it's like, yeah, he's the goalie. He's so good because he's related to this guy. It's like, yeah, I
that
mean,
guy's only good at stabbing.
yeah, it would be like if you know, there was a book where it was like Daredevil and son, and the kid, the son like kicks the ball and the goalie stops it and he's like, I have a feeling this is gonna be a villain. And it turns out he's like Stiltman's son. It's like, oh, okay, you're pulling out the C-listers for this. Like, I'm not scared of Stiltman's son. I'm not scared of this character's son, you know?
Right. Nah, I get that. Also, it just came to me. This artist was the artist on that Sword of Azrael book that I just gushed
Oh, I
over.
gotcha.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I agree. I still I think the character moments and the dialogue outshine any negatives in this book.
Yeah,
Um,
I like the fun moments, and it's very much like kind of like the Robin book 2.0 with instead of Green Arrow as one of the main characters, it's Batman as like the side main character, you know,
yep.
which it's fine by me.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, and also it's nice to see Bruce be a father and kind of lighten up a little bit. Because we just don't get that very much anymore. So I
Yeah,
like it. So yeah, where are you with it?
probably about an 8. I liked it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it too. Solid book.
hmm You should be reading it if you're a Batman fan for sure.
Yeah. If you don't like any other Batman titles and haven't tried out this one might be the one for you.
Yeah. Alrighty, so Blade, issue 7 by Brian Hill and Valentina Pitti on the art. So, yeah, Hulk and Blade are teaming up. Like, yeah, they go into a town to save the day, and there's some demons and stuff involved. And I'm not sure. Like, I'm just gonna say this, and I'll see if you agree. This Hulk doesn't feel the same as the Hulk we get in Philip Kenny Johnson's book, but it's supposed to be.
I agree. The stuff that's happening to Hulk feels like the same stuff that's happening in Incredible. Um, but I do get what you mean.
Because it's like that Hulk wouldn't have changed back to Bruce.
Yes, that's
Uh,
one thing that I
yeah,
noticed right away. I was like, oh, I don't think he would have given that up.
yeah. But then there's other parts of it that were pretty sweet, like how they stopped the demon.
Hmm.
Like that part was so awesome.
It
It's
was.
crazy.
I think Wolf Blade is pretty cool.
hmm
Um, yeah, and just teaming up to draw him out and let Hulk smash them all. I
Yeah.
mean, really solid stuff. I like this. The thing I'm gonna make a complaint, but then say I don't care. So
Mhm.
I'm giving
Okay.
you the warning. This has nothing to do with him stopping the Adana.
Nope.
Um,
It's just kind of, I think that the one thing that you can say though is that it's showing the crap that, you know, like that thing is responsible for. Like, because he kind of says
yes,
that. That is like
yes.
the one thing I will kind of like push back on.
Hmm. And I mean, push away because, like I said, I don't care because I like
hmm
this.
Yeah.
Um, I thought we were going to get that Adana story and then be like, no more Blade. That's what you get. But
hmm
now that they like had to switch it up and draw it out, it's like I'm good with all this. I like it. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is a cool issue. I like the art. Um, yeah, I think I'm at like an 8 with this one too.
I'm probably at a 7. It does just annoy me that like Hulk does not seem like Hulk in the slightest, but
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah, that's why it's
that's
not higher for me.
yeah.
All right, Green Lantern number 7. It's written by Jeremy Adams with art by Amin K. Nahuelpan. Um, which this is another like you said with gosh whatever the Batman and Robin one.
Yeah.
Art mostly cool.
But then you get like Power Ranger.
Yes, yeah. Who looks like the Crimson Chin from the Fairly Odd Parents.
I was gonna go meaner. Like I thought he looked kind of like, you know how they have like, oh, you don't watch South Park, but they're like he looks like every Down syndrome character in South Park.
Right. Well, but then you get the, Kilowog, who just looks freaking
Awesome.
awesome, and
Yeah.
Sinestro.
Yep.
Uh, and I think he puts a little more into Hal than some of the other characters too.
Yeah, because like Joe is terrible.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, 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 for sure. But yeah, like this though, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Really like all this. Um, but yeah, we essentially this is the story where we find out how Kilowog dies, which was we found out at the end of the last issue. Um, he goes out with a bang. I'm not convinced that he is dead because we don't
Nope.
get a body.
Exactly.
But it's still a pretty cool story.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts though?
I mean, this was for me personally a letdown. Like I've been loving this book 100%, and this is like this is one of those things that comics like to do a lot right now, where it's like, this stuff happened way back in the day, and it's like, well, it didn't happen in the last series, so when did it happen? In between. It's only been a couple, like a month between the stuff. Like, why are you doing it this way? And then it's like, you're supposed to have to read, and then it's like the revelation that we get is never good enough because like you've been building it up, and this is just another one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, you built it up, and this is what we get.
Yep.
Not to quote our Mad Libs, but stinky. Because yeah, I was just really let down. I wasn't super invested in the story. The art was, I thought, like good in spots, mediocre in other spots. I don't remember what Nallypan had done in the past, but I always liked their stuff. This I don't like anywhere near as any of the other times I've seen their stuff. And yeah, I was just very much let down. And then the backup story, I could not be bothered.
No, no, not at all. Not at all. I liked it a little bit more than you, but again, I understand the inconsistencies on the art. Uh, the backup story, it's whatever. And it is just filler at the end of the day, even though I thought it was still a pretty cool story. It is filler, and you know, there are pages of just dialogue before we get to any cool fights. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm gonna give this one a 6.
Yeah, I'm probably at like a 5. It's just for a book that I love as much as I do, this one was just a letdown for me.
Hmm.
All right. So Wesley Dodds Sandman, and this is by Robert Venditti and Riley Rossmo on the art. Riley's going hard again, dude.
Hmm.
Like some of the people's faces, not the best, but the panel layouts, awesome. Just the way he's doing that stuff, like it's clear either unless it's all Venditti's idea, but it's clear like they're working together well and like coming up with the different ideas on how to do stuff. It's looking awesome.
I mean, we get like 3 splash pages, back to
They're
back to back.
yeah. And then like I mean heck, even this part where the dude falls out of the building
Hmm.
looks great. And yeah, this in general, this was like this is just getting better and better. I think like this is a dialogue heavy book, this issue, even though there's a lot, like I said, like you said, a lot of splash pages, but there's a lot going on, and it doesn't feel like you're reading a lot too.
Yeah, correct. In the splash pages, uh, I mean, personally, I kind of got hit in the feels. Like I think it's the first set of splash pages where he's like kind of being a shit in his younger years.
Yeah.
Um, just to see how much he's grown since then.
Hmm.
It's just really nice. And really, the crime, the dialogue, this book really does read like mystery theater, man. Like, I don't know if Venditti read that stuff, but if he didn't, then it is a crazy coincidence.
I bet he just from when you talked to him about Hawkman, I bet he read all of that, and then a bunch of like the golden age stuff that he was able to get a hold of because it's like
Yeah.
he is very thorough.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah, I bet he did. Now I know very like haven't read my the Mystery Theater You Got Me because I've just been too busy. I haven't got to read it yet, but he Wesley Dodds like part of his thing is like he can have these visions, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is kind of basically him just like after getting sprayed with that stuff the last issue and all that, and he's having these nightmares now? Do you think that's basically the start of it? Or
Um,
was he having the dreams before? I don't really remember in this.
I think they might have mentioned it before,
Okay.
but I mean, I don't think it would have been to this extent. I think if anything, this would have kickstarted it for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Because I mean, geez, that nightmare sequence that we got with like that centaur looking
Hmm.
creature. I mean, we weren't getting that in any of the other issues,
Right.
so it's good stuff. Yeah. Where's the rating with this one?
For me, it's I'm gonna go with a 9. It's very good.
Hmm. I'm gonna give it a 9.5. I just really, really love this book, and I wish that it would get extended like Green Arrow.
Yeah. All right, buddy. What are you excited for in the coming weeks?
So I'm gonna go with Superman because boy, do I love that cowboy thirst trap cover that they're giving us with that. Um, let's see here. What else? What else am I excited for? Oh, there's a Sonic special coming out about Fang the Hunter. I'm excited for that one. And one of these I know you're gonna say, so I'll let you have it. And I will end on maybe some Daredevil.
Right on, dude. Yeah, Superman Lost. I know that's the one you're like that's the one you're excited about.
Yep.
I just have to start with that because finally this is the last issue. Boy, oh boy, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So like it's one of those ones where it's like it's not even like I'm like, oh, I'm sad to see it over because it's like I've known it's gonna be a limited thing. This is good. Like this is the ending he had planned from the beginning. It's gonna be great. And then I'm gonna say Jay Garrett. I'll say Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong instead of Jay Garrett Flash. And then the last one that I will say is the old Cobra Commander. Pretty interesting seeing how that one goes.
Man, after you read this, you're gonna be all in on the Energon, man.
Dude, I'm already all in. After I read Duke, I'm just like, yep, pushing my chips in. This is where all my investments go in. But Fantastic Four time, buddy. So I didn't have one planned out. And I was just like, oh, wait, Muse is gonna be put into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So why don't you give me 4 villains you want in a live action version? Can be
Mm.
from Marvel or DC or the
Oh, just
Energon
any at
verse.
all.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna say Hobgoblin. Not to just throw a bunch of Spider-Man out, but I would really like a well done Scorpion.
Yeah.
Um, let's think of some DC here. Man Bat. I think I've been saying Man Bat for years and years at this point. And it'll probably never happen. At
I
least
don't know.
not in the way that I want.
It might happen sooner or later with the Gunverse. You never know.
Right. And
The next
then
reboot.
yeah, or the next reboot. What's another DC character that I would like to see? I literally can't name one single villain right now.
Captain Cold, buddy.
Captain Cold. Love that guy.
Fucking cold out there, so might as well. All right. So for me, I'll say Zoom, like in the hopefully they'll bring flashback. I don't know. But like getting Zoom not in the Grant Gustin verse would be pretty sweet. Um, oh, they should cast Ezra Miller as Zoom. It's like, this fucking maniac.
Gosh.
Um, then keep things on the cold side, I'm gonna go Mr. Freeze, which actually is pretty likely, I think. Um, and then we'll do two Marvel boys. Um, let's say would be a good Marvel Hyperion. Let's bring in the old hype boy,
Yeah.
and then we already did Abomination. That would be uh in the first Hulk movie. I'm trying to think of like another. Oh, Leader. Duh. Leader would be awesome.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. There we go. Who do you guys want to see?
Yeah.
Um, oh, before the closing plugs, I wanted to mention uh a friend of mine dropped 4 episodes of his new podcast last week. It's called the Erotic Thriller Club. Um, his name is Garrett. He and his friend Kit uh, just watch an erotic thriller every week and then talk about it. And it's hilarious. Garrett's rating system is like are you thrilled? Are you aroused? And then would you ruin your life for like the main character? But anyway, I watched Garrett do stand up all throughout college. I think he's very funny. A lot of that translates into these like horny erotic thrillers. It's just silly and a good time. So if you like erotic thrillers, or even if you don't, because I don't really watch them either, and just want to laugh about erotic thrillers, check those out. They've done like Fatal Attractions and Zandali and The Crush. So they've got some heavy hitters to start it off with, and I really like it. So check it out. But yeah, now it's time for closing plugs. Head on over to facebook.com/Two Worlds Podcast and give the page a like. You can also follow us on Twitter at two_worlds_PC and on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod. You can email us at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, head on over to the YouTube channel. That's Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube and subscribe.
Leave us a comment down below asking us where our beef is.
All right, guys, we'd love to stay in chat, but I have to go take care of Casey and make sure he's producing yummy, yummy honey. So we'll see you next time.
Buzz buzz.
Bye.